Can I talk to you for a minute? I said, can I really talk to you for a minute? I know you've been through some things. I know you've been crying, you've been weary, you've been wondering, Lord, when is this going to change? But God sent me here today to tell you, don't run from this. Don't run from this season. Don't run from this test. Because what you're going through right now is not the end. It's the beginning of your breakthrough. You see, God is using this. God is using this to refine you, to stretch you, to break every chain that's been holding you back. So lift your head up, square your shoulders, and tell yourself, I'm not running from this. I'm walking through this. Because God is about to do something in my life that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Somebody shout, don't run from this. Embrace the discomfort, because the very thing that's making you uncomfortable is what God is using to move you into your breakthrough. I know you don't like how it feels. I know you'd rather skip this season. But hear me. Breakthrough doesn't come in your comfort zone. Breakthrough comes when you're willing to stand firm in the midst of discomfort and say, God, I don't understand it, but I trust you in it. Some of you right now are in a place you never expected to be. You thought by now you'd be further along. You thought by now you'd have it all figured out. But God didn't bring you here to leave you. He brought you here to grow you. And growth is never comfortable. Growth stretches you. Growth pulls on parts of you that you didn't even know you had. It forces you to dig deeper, to reach higher, to stand stronger. So instead of trying to run from the discomfort, what if you embraced it? What if you said, Lord, I know this doesn't feel good, but I know you're doing something good in me through it. See, God is not just trying to give you things. He's trying to build something in you. He's trying to build a faith that can stand when the winds blow. He's trying to build a character that doesn't crumble under pressure. He's trying to build a resilience in you that won't break under the weight of life's challenges. And sometimes that building happens in the places that feel the most uncomfortable. Think about a seed. Before it can become a tree, before it can become a harvest, it has to go through the dirt. It has to be buried in a dark place. It has to break open in the soil where no one can see it. That's uncomfortable. That's hidden, but it's necessary. Because if the seed refused to be buried, it would never become what it was created to be. You've got to be willing to let God bury you in a season of discomfort so He can bring you up in a season of breakthrough. Let me tell you something. The discomfort you're feeling is not a sign that God has abandoned you. It's a sign that God is preparing you. It's a sign that something is shifting. Something is being stirred up. Don't run from it. Don't try to numb it. Don't try to hide from it. Embrace it. Because that's where God does His best work. He doesn't do His best work in the places that are easy. He does His best work in the places where you have to lean on Him more than ever before. I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying, stop praying for comfort and start praying for courage. Courage to face the unknown. Courage to trust Him in the dark. Courage to keep moving forward when everything in you wants to run back to what's familiar. Because the enemy loves to make you think that discomfort means defeat. But the devil is a liar. Discomfort is not defeat, it's development. Discomfort is not a curse, it's a classroom. God is teaching you something in this season. He's showing you something about yourself. He's revealing things that need to be healed, things that need to be surrendered, things that need to be strengthened. It's in the discomfort that you discover how strong you really are. It's in the discomfort that you find out how deep your faith really goes. You don't know how much you can handle until you're in a place where you have to handle it. You don't know how much you can endure until you're in a place where you have to endure it. And you don't know how much you can trust God until you're in a place where trusting Him is your only option. So I'm telling you, embrace it. Don't fight it. Don't despise it. Don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you better. Let it make you wiser. Let it make you stronger. Because God is doing something in the discomfort that you can't even see right now. He's pruning you so you can bear more fruit. He's refining you so you can carry more glory. He's positioning you for something greater than you could ever imagine. Some of you are in a job that's uncomfortable. Some of you are in a relationship that's stretching you. Some of you are in a financial situation that's squeezing you. And you're saying, Lord, I just want this to be over. But God is saying, I'm using this. I'm using this to take you higher. I'm using this to unlock doors you never thought would open. I'm using this to show you that what's in you is greater than what's around you. Let me remind you of Paul and Silas in that prison cell. It was uncomfortable. It was dark. They were in chains. But instead of complaining, they started praising. They turned their discomfort into an altar. And in the middle of that discomfort, God shook the foundations of the prison and set them free. I came to tell somebody, if you'll praise Him in the discomfort, He'll break every chain in your life. If you'll trust Him in the discomfort, He'll turn your midnight into morning. So don't run from it. Embrace it. God is not punishing you. He's preparing you. He's getting you ready for the blessing that's on the other side of this season. And hear me, your breakthrough is not coming. Your breakthrough is already in motion. Every step you take in faith, every prayer you pray in the night, it's bringing you closer. You might not see it yet, but you're getting closer. You might not feel it yet, but you're getting stronger. Don't let the discomfort make you doubt what God said. Don't let the discomfort make you forget the promise. God didn't bring you this far to leave you here. He's the God who finishes what He starts. He's the God who turns graves into gardens. He's the God who makes a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. And if you'll just hold on, if you'll just keep pressing, if you'll just keep praising, you're going to see it. I dare you to declare right now, I will not run from this. I will not shrink back. I will not let fear or doubt steal my faith. I will embrace this discomfort because I know God is using it to bring me into my breakthrough. So stand firm, child of God. Lift up your head. Strengthen your feeble knees. Square your shoulders and say, this is not my end. This is my beginning. This is not my burial. This is my breakthrough. I will embrace the discomfort because I know on the other side of this, there's a blessing with my name on it. I believe that for you. I believe that if you'll trust Him in the uncomfortable places, God will show up in ways you never expected. He'll turn your mess into a message. He'll turn your struggle into a story of victory. So don't run from this. Run to God in this, because He's using it, and He's about to blow your mind with the breakthrough that's waiting on the other side. Don't let fear stop your forward motion. I know fear is real. I know it creeps up in the middle of the night, whispering lies in your ear, telling you that you're not enough, that you'll never make it, that it's too hard, that you're too weak. But I came to remind you today that fear is a liar. Fear is a thief that tries to steal your destiny. Fear is a chain that tries to hold you back from what God has already promised you. And I'm telling you, don't let it. Don't you dare let fear keep you from taking the next step that God is calling you to take. Some of you are standing at the edge of your breakthrough, and fear is the only thing holding you back. It's not your lack of resources. It's not your lack of connections. It's not even your circumstances. It's that voice of fear that's been telling you you're not ready. But hear me, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. If He's called you to it, He's already given you what you need to walk through it. Fear will always try to talk you out of what God has already spoken over you. It will tell you to stay comfortable. It will tell you to play it safe. It will tell you to sit back and watch instead of stepping up and fighting. But you have to make up your mind that fear is not your final authority. God is. His word is your authority. His promise is your foundation. And if He said you're going to make it, you're going to make it. Think about Joshua standing at the edge of the promised land. God told him, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." God didn't say there wouldn't be giants in the land. God didn't say there wouldn't be battles to fight. But He did say, "I'm with you," and that's what I'm telling you today. God is with you. He's with you in the boardroom. He's with you in the classroom. He's with you in the courtroom. He's with you in every decision, every step, every challenge. So don't let fear stop you from moving forward. I know what it's like to be afraid. I know what it's like to feel that weight in your chest, that knot in your stomach, that voice in your head that says, "What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I look foolish?" But I've learned that if you wait until you're no longer afraid to move, you'll never move at all. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move in spite of fear. It's the decision to say, "Yes, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. Yes, I feel uncertain, but I'm moving anyway. Yes, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm stepping out anyway." Because the only way to silence fear is to do the very thing it's trying to keep you from doing. Fear wants you to believe that if you move forward, you'll lose everything. But the truth is, if you don't move forward, you'll miss everything God has for you. So, the truth is, if you don't move forward, you'll miss everything. But the truth is, if you don't move forward, you'll miss everything God has for you. The truth is, if you don't move forward, you'll miss everything God has for you. You'll miss the joy of seeing His promises come to pass. You'll miss the testimony that's on the other side of this test. You'll miss the destiny He's been preparing for you since before you were born. Don't let fear stop you from experiencing the fullness of what God has for you. Let me tell you something. Everything you're praying for is on the other side of fear. The job you're believing for, on the other side of fear. The healing you're declaring, on the other side of fear. The ministry you're dreaming about, on the other side of fear. And the only way to get there is to push past what you feel and move in what you know. Because you know God is faithful, you know He's a promise keeper, you know He didn't bring you this far to leave you here. So you've got to push past the fear and step into the future He's already written for you. Sometimes we get so comfortable in what's familiar that we'd rather stay stuck than risk failing. But let me tell you, there's nothing more dangerous than staying stuck when God is calling you forward, because comfort will kill your calling. Comfort will keep you small when God has called you to be mighty. Comfort will keep you silent when God has called you to speak. Don't let the comfort of the familiar be the reason you forfeit the future God has promised you. I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying, I'm calling you out of the boat. Just like Peter on that stormy sea, Jesus said, come. And Peter had a choice, stay in the safety of the boat or step out on the water. It didn't make sense. The wind was blowing, the waves were crashing, but Peter stepped out anyway. And as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he walked on what should have drowned him. I'm telling you, if you'll take your eyes off the fear and put them on the one who called you, you'll walk on the very thing the enemy said would take you under. Fear will tell you to look at the waves. Faith will tell you to look at the Word. Fear will tell you to remember your past failures. Faith will tell you to remember God's past faithfulness. Faith will tell you to shrink back. Faith will tell you to stand up. And you have to choose which voice you're going to listen to. Because whichever voice you give your attention to is the one that will control your direction. I know it's easier said than done. But let me tell you, God doesn't expect you to fight fear in your own strength. He's given you His Spirit, the Spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. When fear comes knocking, you don't have to answer with your own words. Answer with His Word. Remind yourself that He has not given you a spirit of fear. Remind yourself that you are more than a conqueror. Remind yourself that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And then take that step forward. Even if it's a small step, take it. Even if you're trembling, take it. Because every step you take in faith is a step that breaks the power of fear in your life. And the more you move forward, the smaller that fear becomes. Because you'll start to see that God is bigger than your fear. His grace is stronger than your weakness. His power is greater than any obstacle in your path. So don't you let fear stop you. Don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it rob you of your peace, your joy, your purpose. Shake off the chains of doubt. Shake off the weight of worry. Lift up your head and move forward, because God is going ahead of you. He's making a way where there seems to be no way. And if you'll just keep moving, if you'll just keep believing, if you'll just keep walking, you're going to see the breakthrough you've been praying for. I dare you to declare right now, fear will not stop me. Doubt will not hold me. I will move forward in faith because I know my God is with me. And as you move, watch Him open doors. Watch Him level. Watch Him turn your fear into fuel for your faith. Because on the other side of that fear is everything He promised you. Trust the process, because your pain is producing purpose. I know it doesn't feel like it right now. I know it feels like everything is falling apart, like nothing is going the way you thought it would. But can I tell you something? God is not a man that He should lie, nor the Son of Man that He should change His mind. If He allowed this season of pain, He's going to use it for your good. You see, there's a process to everything God does. And in that process, He's taking what the enemy meant for evil and turning it for your good. Some of you are in the middle of a process right now, and it's messy. It's confusing. It's frustrating. But hear me. Just because you can't see the end doesn't mean God isn't working. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's not holy. The very thing that's breaking you down is what God is using to build you up. The very thing that's causing you to cry yourself to sleep at night is the same thing that's pushing you closer to your destiny. God never wastes pain. He never allows you to walk through a season of trial without a purpose. The word says, "And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose." That means even in the heartbreak, even in the disappointment, even in the betrayal, God is weaving it all together for something greater. I want you to understand that the process isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's in the process that God purifies you. It's in the process that he strengthens you. It's in the process that he teaches you to rely on him more than ever before. Because the truth is, if you only ever lived on the mountaintop, you'd never learn how to depend on God in the valley. But it's in the valley, in the dark and hidden places, that your faith grows deeper. It's in the valley that you learn who you really are and who God really is. Think about Joseph. He had a dream that he would be a ruler, that his brothers would bow down to him. But before he ever saw the palace, he had to go through the pit. He had to endure the betrayal of his own family. He had to be falsely accused and thrown into prison. It didn't make sense at the time, but God was using every step of that painful journey to prepare him for the purpose he had for his life. When Joseph finally stood in Pharaoh's court and saw the dream come to pass, he said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." That's what I want to tell you today. What's causing you pain right now is the very thing God will use to position you for your purpose. You've got to learn to trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. Because God sees what you can't see. He sees the end from the beginning. He sees the masterpiece he's creating in you, even when all you can see is the mess. And he's faithful to finish what he started in you. I know you're tired. I know you're wondering when it's all going to turn around. But I came to tell you, don't give up. Don't let go. Don't stop trusting. Because your pain is not permanent. It's producing something eternal. It's producing a testimony. It's producing a strength you didn't know you had. It's producing a faith that can't be shaken. See, we love to shout about the promise, but we don't always like to walk through the process. We want the blessing, but we don't want the breaking. But can I tell you, there can be no breakthrough without breaking. There can be no anointing without crushing. The olive has to be crushed to release the oil. The grape has to be pressed to produce the wine. And your pain is pressing you, crushing you, but it's also releasing something beautiful inside of you. It's releasing purpose. I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying, I'm using this to draw you closer to me. Because it's in the process that you learn to hear his voice. It's in the process that you learn to lean on him when everything else falls away. And it's in the process that he begins to reveal things about you, dreams you buried, gifts you didn't even know you had, callings you never dared to imagine. So I'm challenging you today. Trust the process, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense, because God is a master builder. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to take the broken pieces of your life and turn them into a mosaic of grace. He knows how to take the tears you've cried and water the seeds of your future. You're not going through this for nothing. You're not suffering without a reason. God is using this to mold you, to refine you, to shape you into the person he's called you to be. And one day you're going to look back and see how every painful step was leading you right into your purpose. Some of you feel like you're in a furnace right now. You feel the heat of the fire, and you're wondering if you're going to make it out. But remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into the fiery furnace because they refused to bow to fear. And in the middle of that fire, the Son of God showed up and walked with them. They came out of that furnace not even smelling like smoke. That's the God we serve. He doesn't always take away the fire, but he steps into it with you. And when you come out, you'll come out stronger. You'll come out freer. You'll come out with a testimony that will shake the very gates of hell. So don't despise the process. Don't curse the season you're in. God is using it to birth something in you that will bless generations to come. Every tear you've cried is watering a seed. Every prayer you've prayed is laying a foundation. Every step you've taken in faith is building a legacy. Trust the process, because your pain is producing purpose. I want you to lift up your head today. I want you to square your shoulders and declare, I will not give up in the process. I will not let pain steal my purpose. I will trust the God who is working in me even when I can't see it, because he's not finished with you yet. He's just getting started. And what he's about to do in your life will be so worth every tear, every trial, every painful moment. Your pain is producing purpose. Your process is preparing you for the promise. So keep trusting, keep moving, keep believing, because God is faithful. And when he brings you through this, not if, but when, you're going to see that every step, every struggle was worth it. You're going to see that he truly does make all things beautiful in his time. And you'll stand in your purpose, stronger, wiser, and more anointed than ever before, declaring, look what the Lord has done. You're stronger than you think. I know the enemy has been whispering in your ear, telling you that you're too weak, that you're too broken, that you don't have what it takes to make it through this storm. But I came to tell you today that he's a liar, because the God who formed you in your mother's womb, the God who spoke the universe into existence, the God who called you by name, he put something inside of you that no devil in hell can destroy. He put a strength in you that's greater than any obstacle in your path. You've been through some things. You've faced some storms that should have taken you out. You've walked through some fires that should have consumed you. But look at you. You're still here. That's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of the strength that God has placed inside of you. That's a sign that his hand is on your life, that his spirit is at work in you, even in the midnight hour when nobody sees your tears. I want to remind you that your resilience is a weapon. Every time you get back up after being knocked down, you're proving that you're not just a survivor, you're a warrior. Every time you refuse to quit, every time you refuse to bow to fear, every time you say that your weapon that the enemy can't handle Because the word says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. That means no matter how fierce the battle, the power of God in you is stronger than the storm outside of you. Don't you dare let the enemy convince you that you're weak. Don't you dare let him convince you that you're defeated. Because you were born for this, you were created for this. God didn't bring you this far to leave you now. He didn't invest his spirit in you for you to collapse under pressure. No, he put his spirit in you so you could rise up and declare, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I know life has thrown some punches. I know there have been times you didn't know if you could take another step. But let me tell you, every battle you faced has made you stronger. Every disappointment has given you a deeper well of faith. Every setback has been an opportunity for God to show you who you really are. You're not just a collection of broken pieces. You're a vessel of power and purpose. You're not just someone who's been through the fire. You're someone who's come out of the fire, refined and ready. The enemy thought he could break you, but what he didn't know is that the breaking was part of the making. The breaking was the process that strengthened your core, that taught you how to lean into God's strength when your own strength ran out. The breaking was the place where you discovered that his grace really is sufficient. And now, you're not just standing, you're standing in a strength that doesn't come from you, but from the one who called you. You've got to start seeing your resilience for what it really is, a testimony of God's power in your life. Because if it were just you, you wouldn't be here. If it were just your own ability, you would have given up a long time ago. But it's his power that's been sustaining you. It's his hand that's been holding you. It's his spirit that's been breathing life into you when you felt like you were running on empty. I want you to understand today that your resilience is not just for you. It's for everyone who's watching you. There are people who see your faith, people who see your strength, and they're being encouraged by your fight. They're being inspired by your perseverance. You don't even realize it, but your life is a sermon that's preaching hope to someone else. Your scars are telling a story of grace and redemption that's bigger than you. Don't you underestimate what God is doing through you. Don't you dismiss the power of your testimony, because every time you stand back up, you're giving glory to God. Every time you choose to praise him in the middle of the pain, you're sending a message to the devil that says, you can't have my mind. You can't have my peace. You can't have my future. You're declaring that you're stronger than what's trying to break you. I know you might not feel strong all the time. I know there are days when you feel weary, days when you feel like you're at the end of your rope. But let me tell you, that's when God's strength shows up the most. That's when he steps in and says, my power is made perfect in your weakness. That's when he lifts you up and reminds you, you're not just a product of your pain, you're a product of his promise. You're not just a survivor, you're a conqueror. You're not just someone who's been through the fire, you're someone who's come out of the fire with a testimony of triumph. I want you to look in the mirror today and declare over yourself, I am stronger than I think. I am more powerful than I feel. I am more resilient than I know. And I will not be stopped by what's trying to stop me. Because you've got a God who's fighting for you. You've got a God who's gone before you, and he's already declared that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So keep standing, keep fighting, keep pushing, because every time you do, you're growing stronger. Every time you do, you're building a faith that can't be shaken. And every time you do, you're taking ground that the enemy can't steal. You're stronger than you think. Your resilience is a weapon. And it's not just about getting through this season. It's about stepping into the next one with a strength that can't be denied. God is going to use your story. He's going to use your fight. He's going to use your resilience to bless others, to show his glory, to prove that he is still God in the middle of it all. So don't you bow out. Don't you quit, because you're closer than you think. You're stronger than you feel, and you're about to see God do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you could ask or imagine. This is not the end. This is not your breaking point. This is your breakthrough moment. Hold on to your faith. Hold on to your resilience. Because your strength is not your own. It's God's power working in you. And when you tap into that power, nothing can stop you. So rise up today, warrior of God. Step into the fullness of who he's called you to be. Because your strength is your weapon. Your resilience is your testimony. And your victory is already assured in Jesus' name. Your victory is closer than you think. And I know that's hard to believe when everything around you looks like defeat. But let me tell you something. God never starts something he doesn't intend to finish. You might be in the thick of the battle right now. You might feel like you're surrounded on every side. But what you can't see is that God has already gone before you. He's already made a way where there seems to be no way. Your victory is closer than you think. I know you've been waiting a long time. I know you've been praying, fasting, crying out to God, and maybe you're wondering if he's even listening. Maybe you're wondering if he's forgotten you. But I came to tell you that he's not forgotten you. He's not ignoring you. In fact, the very fact that you're still here is proof that he's been holding you up, even when you felt like you couldn't stand. He's been covering you, even when you didn't know it. And the breakthrough you've been believing for is closer than you think. The enemy wants you to give up right here. He wants you to let go of your promise. He wants you to throw in the towel and walk away, because he knows that if he can stop you now, he can keep you from stepping into the fullness of what God has for you. But I dare you to hold on just a little bit longer. I dare you to dig your heels in and declare, I will not quit. I will not back down. I will not let go until I see the victory God promised me. The Bible says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That tells me that your night season has an expiration date. Your sorrow has an expiration date. Your pain has an expiration date. Your pain has an expiration date. And your mourning is closer than you think. I know it's been a long night, but can I tell you, the sun is about to rise on your situation. The light of God's favor is about to break through the darkness. And when it does, you're going to see that every tear, every prayer, every sacrifice was worth it. You're closer than you think. Don't let the enemy convince you otherwise. He's a master of deception. He'll try to get you to focus on what's not working, on what's not changing. He'll try to distract you with discouragement and disappointment. But you've got to fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith, because he's the one who promised to never leave you or forsake you. He's the one who said, I will perfect that which concerns you. And he's the one who will bring you through this season and into your victory. I know you're tired. I know you're worn out from the fight. But let me remind you that the greatest breakthroughs come when you're at the end of your strength, because that's when God's strength takes over. That's when he steps in and says, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit. So don't you let go. Don't you stop believing, because the God who started this journey with you is the same God who's going to finish it with you. Your victory is closer than you think. You might not see it yet, but it's coming. It's coming because God is faithful. It's coming because he's not a man that he should lie. It's coming because his word says, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. That tells me that the harvest is guaranteed if you don't give up. I want to encourage you today. Don't lose heart. Don't let go of your faith. Don't stop declaring the promises of God over your life, because every declaration is a seed. Every prayer is a seed. Every act of faith is a seed, and those seeds are about to bear fruit. You're about to see the manifestation of what you've been believing for. You're about to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I know you've had some setbacks. I know you've faced some disappointments. But don't let those things define your future. Don't let them rob you of your hope. Because the same God who parted the Red Sea, the same God who brought down the walls of Jericho, the same God who raised Lazarus from the dead, that same God is working on your behalf right now. He's turning things around even as you read these words. He's making a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert. He's doing a new thing, and it's springing forth. The enemy is hoping you'll let go before the breakthrough comes. But I'm telling you, you're too close to quit now. You've come too far to turn back now. You've endured too much to give up now. So stand firm. Stand in faith. Stand in the promise that he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Your victory is closer than you think, and it's not just about you. It's about the generations coming after you. It's about the people who are watching your life and seeing how you respond to the trial. It's about the testimony that's being birthed through your perseverance. So hold on, because when you step into your victory, it's going to break chains for others too. It's going to show the world that God is still in the business of miracles. I want you to lift your hands today and declare, I'm holding on. I'm not letting go. My victory is closer than I think, and I will see it with my own eyes, because you will. You will see the goodness of the Lord. You will see the promise fulfilled. You will see the mountain move. And when you do, you're going to look back and say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, I don't know where I'd be. So let the enemy rage. Let the storm howl. Let the voices of doubt whisper, because none of it can stop what God has ordained for you. Your victory is assured. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is closer than you think. Don't let go. Don't give up, because this is not the end. This is just the beginning of a new chapter of glory in your life, in God's power. Your miracle is a change. 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 And when you step into that victory, you're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that every tear, every battle, every late night prayer, it was all worth it. Because God is faithful, and He's about to blow your mind with His goodness. So keep holding on, child of God. Your victory is closer than you think. As I bring this message to a close today, I want you to know that you're not here by accident. You're not facing what you're facing by coincidence. God has been orchestrating every detail of your life, even the parts that don't make sense right now. He's been using every high and every low, every victory and every setback to shape you, to mold you, and to prepare you for the breakthrough that's right on the other side of this season. You might be in a place today where you're tempted to run away from the challenge, to escape the fire, to bow out because it's just too hard. But I came to tell you, don't run from this. Don't run from the very thing that God is using to elevate you, to strengthen you, to refine you. Because what feels like a breaking point is really a breakthrough. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's painful. I know you'd rather fast forward past this chapter. But hear me, there's glory in the pressing. There's purpose in the pain. And there's victory waiting for you on the other side if you'll just hold on and trust Him through the process. I declare to you today that you're stronger than you think. You're more resilient than you know. And the same God who has carried you this far will not leave you now. He's the God who takes what the enemy meant for evil and turns it for good. He's the God who makes all things new. He's the God who's about to show you that